Welcome to Strip Coverlet, where we squeeze the bigger picture out of literature. I am Adrian Ford, and we are here for another poetry discussion. A poetry discussion which will take place in two separate playlists here on the channel. Number one, obviously, being the playlist for poetry discussions, which will be rapidly approaching 100 poetry discussions at some point in the next month, month and a half, 2 months. But also the playlist for National Poetry Month 2021. In the month of April 2021, I will be doing a poetry discussion every day of the month. So hopefully you will join me for that. Mondays are for Langston Hughes, Tuesday for Sylvia Plath, Wednesday for Charles Bukowski, Thursday for Emily Dickinson, Friday for Charles Bukowski, Saturday for Robert Frost, and Sundays are a wild card day, which leads us to this very poetry discussion, the poetry discussion for Disillusionment of 10 O'clock by Wallace Stevens. The poem reads as such. The houses are haunted by white nightgowns. None are green, or purple with green rings, or green with yellow rings, or yellow with blue rings. None of them are strange, with socks of lace and beaded cinctures. People are not going to dream of baboons and periwinkles, only here and there an old sailor drunk and asleep in his boots catches tigers in red weather. One more time, because it took me at least those twice to get anything out of this poem for myself. The houses are haunted by white nightgowns. None are green, or purple with green rings, or green with yellow rings, or yellow with blue rings. None of them are strange, with socks of lace and beaded cinctures. People are not going to dream of baboons and periwinkles. Only here and there an old sailor, drunk and asleep in his boots, catches white tigers in red weather. Catches tigers in red weather. I put white tigers in there myself. I don't know why I added that edit, but I did. So this is a bit of a strange poem, I think. This is something which this is a poem which leads us directly to the speaker, insofar as what we have to do, what we are forced to do, what we are faced with is a point of view, more than anything. This poem is about dreams, or lack thereof. The houses are haunted by white nightgowns. A white nightgown is what? Fairly standard, I suppose, because none of them are green. Green nightgowns would be something to see, or purple with green rings, because that's a little more fanciful even than that, or green with yellow rings, which maybe not more fanciful, but equally so, or yellow with blue rings. None of them are strange. None of these nightgowns are strange. I think that this is a poem which is easy to get lost in if we're not careful with the pacing. We have to pay attention to the periods. We have to pay attention to the commas. With a lot of poetry, especially later poetry, hell, exclusively poetry within the last 100 years almost, we have to, a lot of times in the more modern poetry, we don't pay attention to these things. We just breeze right through them because the point of what is going on is different than the punctuation. But here, the punctuation matters. Periods mean you stop. The houses are haunted by white nightgowns. What does that mean? The houses are haunted by people. We're leading back to the title, The Disillusionment of 10 O'clock, 10 o'clock at night, when people turn in. What a standard time to go to bed. Just kind of meh. Just kind of regular. And at that time, houses are haunted by white nightgowns. How dreadfully normal. None are green or purple with green rings, or green with yellow rings, or yellow with blue rings. Period. None of them are strange. None of them are out of the normal. None of them are far out, man. They're all very regular. This comes to us as a judgment. This does not come to us in merry fashion. The houses are haunted by white nightgowns. What does that mean? The people inside the nightgowns are already dead. They're dead in their normalcy. None of them are strange, with socks of lace and beaded cinctures. Ceintures. It tells me in the side that means girdles. I've never seen this word. I'm probably saying it incorrectly. Never seen this word. This is the only place I've ever seen this word. This was a poem I believe I was supposed to read in college. Probably I did not. The only Wallace Stevens poem that I remember from college was Sunday Morning. It was a weird little sidebar. I don't know why I went there. None of them are strange, with socks of lace and beaded cinctures. Period. Here we are again levying the judgment against the normalcy, against that which is so normal, against that which is so normal, it's already dead. People are not going to dream of baboons and periwinkles, period. This is, to our speaker, quite disappointing. People will not be dreaming of baboons and periwinkles. Why is that disappointing? Because they're going to be having, instead of that, very normal dreams. Very normal dreams. Only here and there, an old sailor drunken asleep in his boots catches tigers in red weather. Period. Only here and there, an old sailor drunk and asleep in his boots catches tigers in red weather. That's a pretty nonsensical statement, isn't it? Catches tigers in red weather? What the hell is red weather? Why are drunken sailors catching tigers? It's a fantastical dream. That is what makes it so. That is what makes it surprising to us, the reader, to come from this speaker who has spoken in such melodramatic terms of normalcy. But that sailor, drunk and asleep still in his boots, we're getting dual messages about that sailor. That sailor is, at the same time, both a hard worker. Being a sailor, that's not exactly something which is known for its comfort. And this person is sleeping in his boots, passing out on the job. But he's also drunk. I imagine in one of those boats, being on the job is an all-the-time thing. So whether you're drunk or not, whether you're sleeping or not, you're always working. You're always at least on call. So we have here these dueling images of the sailor as hardworking and as a drunkard. But one of the things that we also know about the fantasy life of the sailor is that it is an adventure. So perhaps what our speaker is doing here is contrasting the world of adventure to the world of normalcy. In the world of normalcy, even the dreams are very dull. Even the dreams go nowhere. Whereas in the world of this drunken sailor, this hard-working drunken sailor, the dreams can go anywhere. I doubt very heavily that this poem has ever been viewed as an endorsement of hard work. But I think that goes hand in hand with the drunkenness in this poem. I think that living hard lends itself to dreaming hard. That living a big life in that same way contrasts itself against leading that life of normalcy where you will haunt nothing but your own quarters in a white nightgown. Not even having the dreams necessary to have fun nightgowns. That is all I have for this poetry discussion. I hope to have you back for the next poetry discussion. This is a Sunday, so tomorrow we will be back with Langston Hughes here on the channel. And I hope to see you then. I hope to see you also on my personal channel, a link to which can be found in the description below.